G'day and welcome back to the channel. My name is Roland and I'm your host of the EV Weekly Wrap. So welcome to episode 5, week ending 13th of July 2024. So this week's episode, you can see all the brands that we've essentially got on screen over here. So let's get straight into it. So first ones first, we have this week Xpeng again. So Xpeng, you guys may have seen over the past couple of weeks. It is an absolute game changer of a vehicle that seems to be coming. It's supposedly a big Model Y competitor, and so there's also a second vehicle here that you may have noticed. So let's start with the G6 first of all. So last week I did mention that the G6 was going to be available for public viewing down south in Wollongong, New South Wales. That's the orange one that you see there. And if you actually look at the bottom right picture, right over here, you will see that it is the G6 Performance. So this is actually the all-wheel drive version. So this is actually due in 2025, or due in showrooms in 2025, after the two-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive variants are coming later this year. It's supposedly going to be similar to the Tesla Model Y in terms of pricing, so I'd say about $55,000 to $60,000. And you will also see that the post from True EV, who's the official distributor in Australia, they have confirmed that the Xpeng G9 is coming to join the fleet in Australia. And they've also confirmed that there is a faster acceleration confirmed for the G6. So you can see over here that it is now confirmed to be 6.6 seconds to 100 and 6.2 for the long range. So the black one here, of course, is the G9, and then you've got the G6 over here. So if you guys did go down to see it, what did you guys think if you saw it in person? We're keen to really understand how it is. So either way, the other thing I forgot to mention is G6 standard range, 66 kilowatt hour battery with 190 kilowatts, 440 newton meters of torque, roughly 435 kilometers in WLTP trim, and you've also got 0 to 100 in 6.6. So in the long range, you've got 87.5 kilowatt hour battery, 210 kilowatts of power, 440 newton meters of torque, 570 kilometers WLTP, and as I said, the 0 to 100 in 6.2. Now, if you want to compare costs, so as I said, they're potentially targeting the $50 something $60,000 mark. The base spec rear-wheel drive Tesla Model Y, 6.9 seconds to 100, but it's about $55,900 plus on-road costs. And then for the long range, it's 5 second flat to 100, $69,900. So there you go, Xpeng G6 and G9. Now we jump to the next one. Credit to Alphonsus from 321 Photography. What you guys see here, yes, it is another orange Xpeng G6. However, if you look closely in the photos or the interior photos, this is actually a right-hand drive one. So obviously it's still here for testing most likely, with lots of equipment that you can see that's hooked up inside, but it is a right-hand drive one. And it's funny how they were thinking that over here, a bit of tape over here, and then this bit here is taped as well, that we wouldn't know what it is. Or maybe they have to, I don't know. Either way, definitely an Xpeng G6. Thank you, Alphonsus, for sending that photo through. And yeah, it's good to see that we've got right-hand drive variants here, because it was only about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago that everyone thought that it was left-hand drives only. So there you go. Alright, Toyota BZ4X. So not a whole lot of information about this one in particular, but just wanted to share that in terms of numbers. So Toyota previously said in August 2023 they were going to deliver several thousand of these, but earlier in the year they actually lowered the target to 1,500. So not massive numbers. They have said that no changes in prices. They'll let others play in that market. So the specific words from Sean Hanley, who is Toyota's Australian Vice President for Sales, Marketing and Franchise Operations, that is a very long title, said, "No changes in prices. I'll let the others play in that market. Good luck. We don't have any pressure on that car. It is what it is. It's our entry into the EV market." So the other things he said is, we do believe it'll play a significant role in the future, but we've got a lot of learnings from our hybrid experience back in October 2001, and we know it takes time. So what are your thoughts? Have you guys seen one on the road? I personally still haven't seen one on the road. I haven't even seen the Subaru equivalent, the Solterra. So I figured if 1,500 is their aim, I don't think you'd see too many on the roads. But yeah, if you have driven one, or you have seen one on the roads, keen to hear. What do you guys think? Does it handle well? Is it something that just kind of blends in, or does it actually stand out quite a fair bit on the roads? Alright, Tembo Tusker. So this is Australia's first electric ute. So it's already here. There's two variants essentially. You've got the Tusker D, which is the dual cab, which essentially is the ones that you see here with the 2 doors or 4 doors, 2 on each side. And then you've got the Tusker S, which is the single cab. So essentially you've got single and dual cab that you see here. So the white is the single cab, the grey or silver one is the dual cab. In terms of price, they only are about $1,000 difference between each other. So the dual cab is $75,000 plus GST plus on-road costs. The single cab is $74,000 plus GST plus on-road costs. Each of them have 2 and 4 wheel drive variants with battery sizes ranging from 66 kilowatt hours to 77 kilowatt hours, supposedly up to 400 kilometers on a single charge, and they do have a guaranteed future value program. So including if you go $75,000 plus GST, which is 10%, 7,500, so it pushes 80 something thousand dollars plus on road costs, so you're probably pushing almost towards that $85,000 to $90,000 mark. As a drive away vehicle. Obviously with business potentially you can not have the GST and so forth, but even then $75,000, this is the first Australian ute. Be very keen to see how this progresses, because the ute battle is on, because that leads us to the next one. Ute battle. We have another ute, so it's almost like it's a whole ute week. What a beaut. So Geely Radar electric ute is confirmed for Australia. So Geely Radar, it's also known as the Riddara. It's from Chinese car giant Geely. It's definitely locked in for the Australian launch, as first the right-hand drive productions have rolled off the line. Now in terms of this car, this is based off car underpinnings, so it is not built ground up as a full specific ute, but it does say that it is up to 520 kilometers range. So I'll quote what they've said over here. So Radar Auto will accelerate its expansion into overseas markets, continuously expanding to markets in Asia Pacific, Central Asia, Thailand, Middle East, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Central and South America, the company said. So in terms of size, so it is quite similar to a Hilux. Now there's a few ranges in terms of specs at the moment, but the Riddara website for export markets only lists one single motor, 200 kilowatt, 384 Newton meters rear electric motor, and it's got 2 size batteries, a 63 kilowatt hour battery or a 86 kilowatt hour battery for CLTC ranges of 385 and 517 kilometers respectively. So there you go, that is the Geely Riddara or Radar. Now on to some news about Ford. So Ford Australia announced it would axe the petrol Puma in February, which means that the only one that they are going to essentially get here, or they want to bring here, is the electric one, which is the Puma Gen E. So this is supposedly the spotted version, and it is going to be an electric entry-level SUV, and hopefully it looks exactly like, well, based on the pictures now, it looks pretty much exactly like the existing Puma. So there's no timeline specifically on when it's going to come to Australia, but it is going to have a launch later this year. Based on previous timings, if we were to get it here, it's probably going to be 2025 at earliest. So that's the Ford Puma, and I'll keep you guys posted. And another news on Ford. So you may recall a week or two I put a picture of just the leaked pictures or teaser pictures of the Ford Capri, which are, if I recall right, it was the tail lights over here and a bit of the front part headlights over here. Well, it has officially been announced. This is the Ford Capri. So two specs there, you can see a rear-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive over there, 210, 250 kilowatts, and you can pause the screen there if you want to look at the remaining specs. It's nothing crazy in terms of performance, it's kind of average, but a lot of comments that I've seen on the internet, and you know, I will admit I did think of it myself too. When I saw this picture here of the Capri, I thought of Polestar 2. What do you guys think? Did they potentially just rip off the design? Because that's what a lot of comments have said. And do you guys like it? I think it's a very different styling to what Ford traditionally does, but I think it looks okay. Now, at this point in time, Ford has yet to confirm whether the Capri will be sold outside of Europe and UK, so we're actually not too sure if we're getting it here. But if I look at the conversions and the costs, so in the UK, drive-away prices for the Ford Capri starts from 48,075 euros, which is roughly 91,530, which means that it is 4,745 euros or $9,030 dearer than the base Mustang Mach-E. So for $9,000 more, would you rather this or the Ford Mustang Mach-E? They'd have to release more specs and they'd have to start pushing some reviews out for people to really compare, is it really worth that $9,000 extra? Because at this point in time, I don't think we can really tell. Okay, this is the Zeekr 7X, or codename CX-1E. So originally, earlier on in the week, it was actually all camouflaged with this wrap that you can see in orange or orange hue. And then a day or so ago, they actually did release the pictures. And then they did call it, or they did confirm the name, 7X. So that kind of makes sense because it kind of does look like 7X all plastered over this section over here in the wrap. So that's essentially it. Now, general information for it, they've released the photos. It's an all-electric rival to the Tesla Model Y. It was released all over social media. And let me show you guys a bit more pictures in the next slide. So here we go. Alright, so here are the other pictures of the Zeekr 7X. So these headlights look like it kind of has a fading effect over here as it moves towards the inside, and then it looks like there's a light bar all the way around here, passing the logo down through to the other side. And it looks like there's a little break in between here for the brake lights, and a sleek line that goes straight across. What do you guys think of the design? I think it looks great. The other big plus that I can see straight here, which is amazing, is look at this. Do you know why this is exciting? This is exciting because this is the same side and pretty much the same location as the charging ports in Tesla vehicles. So, and yes, I know that the V4 superchargers now have the much longer cables, but it's on the same side, which is fantastic. And I love the design, so really looking forward to seeing this car here in Australia. Alright, next we have the MG Cyber GTS. This looks awfully familiar, awfully similar to the Cyberstar Roadster that is going to be here very, very soon. So this is officially called, it's technically a concept, and it's called the MG Cyber GTS. This was revealed pretty much a day ago or so at the Goodwood Festival of Speed as part of the brand's 100th anniversary celebrations. So no powertrain details have been announced at all, but MG has mentioned that it does feature rear-wheel drive. And when they did say that, because it is a concept vehicle and it looks similar to the Cyberstar, I've also looked up some of the specs of the Cyberstar. So we can potentially assume, or you could guess, that they would have similar power. So the Cyberstar produces 231 and 250 kilowatts of power depending on the variant, and about 475 Newton meters of torque. The all-wheel drive version bumps these to 400 kilowatts and 725 Newton meters of torque. And the Cyberstar has 64 kilowatt hour battery or 77 kilowatt hour battery, up to 508 kilometers on WLTP cycle. What do you guys think? I think the color looks amazing. The one bit that I really like, the back over here along with the shape coming down, reminds me of the Nissan Z. And the other thing that I really like is the indicators over here. They actually point, in terms of the design, to the right, and then this one here on the left points to the left. So I think it's a pretty cool and unique design. What do you guys think? Alright, onto some Korean cars, or a Korean car. Genesis GV60 Magma Electric. What a crazy looking car. I think it looks absolutely wild and I love it. So this is locked in for production, and this supposedly will be in showrooms by end of 2025, which potentially means in Australia 2026. This is going to be similar, or pretty much the Genesis version of the IONIQ 5N. So you'd potentially see the 84 kilowatt hour battery, you'd see the dual motor up to 478 kilowatts of power, 77 newton meters of torque. Pricing speculation is potentially north of $130,000, considering that the GV60 before on-road costs is already around $111,000. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like it? I think it's absolutely wild and I love every single bit of it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And yes, looks I guess everyone's got an opinion on that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I absolutely love it though. Alright, Audi RS Q6 E-Tron. What a mouthful. So you guys may recall last week the Audi A6 E-Tron was spied, and I did mention I can't wait to see potentially an RS version. So guess what happens 1 week later? RS Q6 E-Tron is confirmed. It's not the A6, but you get an RS Q6. So we'll take what we can get, and the thought of it is absolutely amazing. So this car was confirmed at the international launch of the German brand's latest EV or electric vehicle, which is essentially the Q6 E-Tron. So this was confirmed by the product manager Philippe Bonnet. He confirmed that the Halo version of the electric car is in the works to sit above the SQ6 E-Tron. So basically that is going to be the RS, because the next comment that he says is, you know, we are a sports brand also, so we love our RS models, and an RS Q6 E-Tron model will come out, but I cannot tell you exactly when. So that means that there are no specific details. However, if we look at what the SQ6 is, it's a 380 kilowatt car that can accelerate 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Now, the brother of another mother is the Porsche Macan Turbo Electric, and that's got 470 kilowatts with 1,130 newton meters of torque with 0 to 100 in 3.3 seconds. So the question is, when the RS Q6 comes, will it match everything that the Macan has, 470 kilowatts and 1,130 newton meters of torque, or will it be even more powerful? That is the ultimate question. Either way, SQ6 here, pictures and all of that for your enjoyment, and fingers crossed that the RS Q6 definitely comes to Australia. Alright, Tesla with a lot of camouflaging around, or a cover around. So a picture says 1,000 words. The right side is all of the renders that I could find, or a couple of pictures of renders I could find, that pretty much takes what the Model 3 Highland or the Model 3 refresh pictures were referring to. So someone's done, I guess, a mashup or a version of what they think they might look like, and that's essentially it. What do you guys think? Now, there is only one picture floating on the internet on this car, on the black car that you see over here. So that is literally the only picture. There were no other photos like up close to see whether or not there were stalks or not, or up any closer to get any more pictures of, say, the front bumper or the rear or anything in more detail. So realistically, this car actually could just be a standard or a long range vehicle with these covered on for rumors and whatnot. Either way, speculate all you can. There's no other confirmation yet besides Elon specifically saying that it's not coming this year, but that is there. So yeah, what do you guys think? Alright, Tesla again. So the Model 3 Performance. Now you guys may know Misha Sharudin. Now, I don't know if that's how I pronounce his name or if I butchered it, but basically he's a Nurburgring driving instructor with over a decade of experience on the circuit. So you may recall last week I mentioned the Yangwang U9, or the BYD Yangwang U9, which was their electric supercar, which was at the Nurburgring, which is the Green Hell, which is that really long racetrack in Germany, world famous racetrack. So some of the comments when Misha was actually driving the car, and I'll quote this, I've got it here. For driving this new Tesla Model 3, it's day and night difference compared to the pre-facelift model. I never thought I'd say that a Tesla would be this good out of the box for the track. Now, 2.5 minutes into the lap, the Model 3 claimed to show a message warning of high brake temperature. So the brakes, same with other Teslas, they were on fire already, like 1/4 of the track or less, and the heating issue still cannot do a full lap, which is very sad. So he said handling wise, it's really good. Brake wise, it's extreme drama like the previous one, and it's actually quite dangerous. So in terms of the photos, you can see some of the stats over here that he's got during the first part of the drive. You'll see some more stats over here, and then you'll see that over here that's the rear camera, that there has been a lot of smoke as he's tried to brake and the car wasn't really stopping. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit unfortunate if that is the case, but you know, the Hyundai's IONIQ 5N, they were saying they wanted to be able to do at least 2 laps, and I do believe that they have been able to. So goes to show the potential differences, right? Alright, and speaking of Hyundai IONIQ 5s or IONIQ 5Ns, here is the updated version of the IONIQ 5. So this lands in Europe with up to 570 kilometers of range. It's 0 to 100 about 5.3 seconds. And there's going to be 2 battery sizes. So 63 kilowatt hour battery, which offers range of about 440 kilometers. The other bigger one is the 84 kilowatt hour battery, and supposedly it takes only 18 minutes to go from 10% all the way up to 80%, which adds 336 kilometers of range during that time. So look, from looking at it right there, it looks like a bit of the center console area here looks a little bit different. Otherwise, the rest of this bit here looks pretty much the same. Looks like a redesigned front and rear bumper and new wheels in that regard. So we'll have to see if this makes it to Australia. I presume it would, since we've got the IONIQ 5 here. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, and other social media updates. So another speculation, and probably something to do with Robotaxi for the ones that are following the entire Tesla brand. So this here, Tesla Model 3 mule, you'll notice over here the most odd thing. There is actually no side mirrors. However, there's lots of cameras. So this here, if you blow up the picture, is actually a camera. Over the back, down over there, here is another camera, and then there is another one here down at the front as well. So it's all cameras around the car. There is no side mirrors at all. So what's happening? Lots of speculation. Robotaxi is obviously the first thing that comes to mind. So very interesting. The second thing that I saw on social media is Victoria's first ever electric fire truck has now dropped. Now it's odd that they use the name EV, since there is actual charging company called EV, but this one here specifically, electric vehicle for incidents and emergencies. So it is equipped with the latest tech in zero emissions unit, ready to take the heat. So yeah, it's on way from Austria, and will be in service from 2025. So very exciting to see. Now, next thing over here from Sawyer Merritt. Look at that picture. Would you believe that that is actually remnants from a Tesla Model Y? So you can see here, Reddit user says Tesla Model Y saved their dad's life. He caught a flat and was on the side of the road waiting for a tow. Walked away unharmed. The driver behind was going 60 to 70 miles an hour. Didn't even attempt to brake, and obviously totally smashed the car. So fantastic news, and I'm glad to hear that this person's dad walked away totally fine, but too bad for the car. Either way, it's good to see that the car still, at least in the front section, totally retained its shape, but it's a pretty bad crash. Okay, and that's a wrap. That takes us to the end of the video for another week. As you can see, what a big week in the world of EVs. So I absolutely love compiling all of these for you guys. So if you guys are getting value out of this, please let me know in the comments below if there's anything else in terms of the structure that you'd like to see changed, or the format. I'm totally open to what you guys think. At the end of the day, I make these videos just so that you guys should be able to get the full recap on all things EVs for the week. So if you guys did enjoy this, please do give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't, as I totally appreciate it, and it's going to help my channel grow a long way. And yeah, that's all I need to say. Like and subscribe for more content. We'll see you soon. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.